My name is Jonathan Goforth, and I'm going to show you how you can sell more houses during this coronavirus outbreak. Struggling and you're wondering, how do I sell homes at all, much less during the coronavirus outbreak? That's what this video is about, is to help you sell some homes right now. So a few years ago, after my first couple years in real estate, it started really taking off. And so a few years ago, I wrote this book called How to Sell Homes in a Tough Market. It's published, it's at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, on Kindle. So along the way, I have sold now hundreds and hundreds of homes. And so as my career really started flourishing, last year was one of the biggest honors of my career. And so I got to be listed in Forbes magazine representing Kansas City as one of the top market leaders in the country. So this is an article that 5-Star Professionals puts out. This is Forbes magazine for March of this year, 2020. And I'm listed as one of the top 500 market leaders in the country. So today, we're going to talk about how you can sell more homes during the coronavirus. First thing I want to share with you, there are some agents saying this is a horrible market. Don't sell your house right now. Wait until a year. And I want to share with you some numbers because other agents are thriving in this market. And this is to teach you how to thrive also right now. So a couple of things I want to share with you quickly. Kansas City Regional Association of Realtors put out their information. This is for June. So this is how June ended up. Right now it's July 20th, 2020. And this is where we ended up less than 3 weeks ago. So first, our average sales price is up 6.5% higher than June of 2019. That's exciting to see. This is in the midst of the coronavirus shutdown. Now, if anyone tells you nothing is selling, it's a horrible market, look at this. 4,156 homes sold in June. That's just June in Kansas City, so here in the Midwest. Now that's only 4% lower than the same time last year for June. That's exciting to see that because you don't have to sell very many homes to have an amazing career. It's not as hard as you would think to make over $100,000 a year in income. I've actually done that for a long time now and significantly higher than that. This is a little concerning. So if you are going to sell your house, there could not be a better time in history to sell your house because this is our home inventory at the end of June. That's 45% lower though than June of 2019. That's a concern about the total number of transactions coming. This is why we're seeing such a strong seller's market. Lots of buyers, very few listings, and houses sell fast with multiple offers. It's frustrating for a buyer's agent and for a buyer because you're going to overpay to get a good house. Now, let's move on. I want you to understand it is not your job to convince people to sell their homes. That's not what you're doing. You are finding people who want to sell their homes now or in the near future and have them use you as their realtor. That's what you're doing. And the more people who know you sell houses, the more houses you're going to sell. Again, the more people who know you sell houses, the more houses you're going to sell. The fewer people who know you sell houses, the fewer houses you're going to sell. So this is about self-promotion of you. Remember, you're in sales, and right now the product is you. It is not their house. You don't have their house listed. You are selling your image, your name, your phone number, your reputation. It's you. And that's what this is about, is selling you so that they use you as their realtor. So let's talk about all the different things that you can be doing to generate leads, to get new customers. First of all, we are during a time of coronavirus, and there's a lot of uncertainty as to what people think about the market because they're hearing a lot of it from the media, and the media is very confusing in what they're telling people. You have no idea it's a thriving market, and if they list their house, it's going to sell fast. They don't know that. So when you talk with them and you give them information, you need to smile. Whether you're over the phone or in person, they need to hear that you are happy, and you need to sound confident and be enthusiastic. Remember, you're the expert. They're coming to you for information. So you need to get on the phone, or you need to call through your COI list. Now, if you don't have a COI list, you need to put one together quickly. Names, their home address, their email address, and their phone number. That's what you need in the methods that you're going to be contacting them. Now, there's different platforms of marketing. Now, when I first got started, there was no social media at all. It didn't exist yet. It's so easy to sell houses now compared to back then. So this is another reason we have so many realtors. Back then, there was no Facebook, there was no YouTube. We had flip phones, remember? And it had real buttons on it. You pushed buttons, but you couldn't text. Texting didn't exist yet. So we had a pager and a phone. And then thank goodness we have so many different methods to contact people. Now, when I just said you need to get on the phone and the call, a lot of you just squirmed. You don't want to do that. You're not going to do that. And so now the big difference here is, are you interested in real estate, or are you committed to doing real estate? I am very committed. My attitude from 23 years ago to today is I am going to do real estate, and I'm going to die trying. I pour myself into real estate. I work in the spring when the market's thriving way more than 40 hours a week because I'm a business owner, and I treat it like I'm a business owner. If you've got a mentality that this is just a job and you're going to do it during the day, 8 to 5, and you're not going to work nights or weekends, good luck with that. That's not the job description. You can also do mailings to your COI list. I love mailings. As the price of stamps has gone higher and higher over the last few years, more people have stopped doing mailings, and so my mailings are much more effective. But if you're going to do mailings, mail them something that they're going to keep. Maybe a sports schedule or a calendar, something that they're going to not just throw away in 10 seconds. I will tell you this, you can make a career off doing mailings. If you've got a strong COI list and it's big enough, and those people actually know you, and you're not just farming with that, yeah, mailings can be awesome. You probably haven't done many open houses in the last 3 months. It's time to get started again because open houses work. They can be a gold mine, and they're almost free. They're pretty much free, except for printing some flyers to have in there. I've got a video. If you're interested in open houses, look through my channel at how to do an amazing open house, because I've done hundreds of open houses in all these years, and not only do I have success at these, but the agents on my team have had the best open houses in the last year. So yes, you've got to be doing open houses. Now let's talk about buying leads. If you've got some money, buying leads can be a great source of some immediate leads as long as you can contact these people fast. It's got to be an immediate response back to them. If you're taking 2 or 3 hours to get back with them, this is not going to be effective for you. But if you can get back with them either live or within 5 to 10 minutes while they're still sitting at the computer, it can be a great source if you've got the money to buy leads. Now, with mailings, this is mailing to your COI list, but let's say you are farming. EDDM, I do this. I'm really good at EDDM. This stands for Every Door Direct Mail. This is through the Postal Service. If you go to USPS.com and across the top in the business section, there's a tab you can click on, and EDDM is where you type in your zip code, and then in your zip code, it'll pull up a map and it'll show every postal route that you can mail to. So you need to get postcards made somewhere else, and then EDDM on the Postal Service website will walk you through how to do it. It tells you how much money you're going to spend, how many houses are in that postal route. Take them to the post office and drop them off. That can be effective, but this isn't going to be fast. EDDM you have to do consistently, over and over and over. Now, we're going to talk about instant messages and texts. If you're not going to make calls, or you want to support your calls with instant messages and texts, this is where you're going to start picking up people quickly. Now, you can do this through Facebook, because you should have, hopefully, lots of Facebook friends. And text, hopefully you've got names with their phone numbers already loaded in your phone. Let's talk about what I am doing now when I send instant messages and texts and calls. Now, what do you talk to these people about? This is why realtors are afraid. They forget that they're in sales. You're selling your brand, your image. It's you. You're what you're selling. You're the product right now. So what do you talk to people about? This is what's going to set you apart from all the other realtors out there who have pretty much done nothing over the last 3 months during coronavirus, while certain agents have captured the market. So this is what you need to do. First, remember, you are the expert. In the eyes of whoever you're about to talk with, either by texting or instant message or by calling, or would they come into your open house, you are the expert. So first thing you need to do, you need to text your favorite lender and get the information on what current rates are. You've got to know a 15-year and a 30-year conventional rates, FHA and VA. You need to know that, because some of these people you're about to contact, they're interested. They're going to want to talk. A lot of them are bored. They're just going to want to talk to you. You think it's going to be a horrible call. It's never a horrible call if you're calling your COI list. Now, if you're cold calling, yeah, that year's just telemarketing. But if you're going through your COI list and they know you, remember, the more people who know you, the more houses you're going to sell. You're calling people that you probably haven't talked with in a long time. They're going to want to know how your parents are. They're going to want to know, oh, how are your kids doing? How are you guys dealing with life? You know, school's about to start. How are you guys dealing with all this? Oh my gosh, it'll be amazing if you even get around to talking about real estate. But they will have questions. What are rates like today? You know, we were thinking about refinancing. Gosh, do you know what rates are? And you'll say, yes, actually, I know exactly what rates are right now, and tell them. Now, if you are calling people, then you know where they live. You've got their address because you know them. You need to pull their neighborhood so you know what the houses are selling for right now in their neighborhood, because they probably have 1 or 2 houses on their street with a sign in the yard. And then this is when you're on the phone talking. While they're with you, you can say, you know, there's a house 4 houses down from yours, and it's priced at whatever, so that you sound like the expert. They'll appreciate this. Everybody is curious what houses sell for in their neighborhood. You have to understand that. So are you. Everybody, because it has direct impact on what their own house is worth. And they're just curious. Wonder what they're going to get for that house. Well, you're about to tell them that. Now, if you're texting and instant messaging because you're more comfortable with that, you don't need to pull this. Because if you had to get it fast, you could type it in fast and get it. Here's what you're going to talk about. Now, you can just be so bold as to come out and say, so, you want to sell your house? And see how that goes. It'd be an interesting tactic. there's going to be a long pause and like, what? Like, whatever. You need something to talk about. This is going to give you confidence to make it a nice, warm, happy call. What I'm doing right now, because everybody is curious as to what homes sell for in their neighborhood. They're bored at home, they're driving around, they're taking walks. Can you imagine people walking around their neighborhood? They're passing by people's for sale signs. What you should do is just send them a message and say, hi, it's Jonathan Goforth, because you want them to see your name. And we have a new system at my office where I can set you up on an automated search so that you can see what houses in your neighborhood are selling for. Would you be curious to see what your house might be worth? And just send something like that. They're going to either ignore it, or a lot of them will text back and say, I am curious what houses in my neighborhood are worth. And then you say, well, if you could text me your email address, I can set you up on a search. It's a free service, it's automated. You don't have to contact me to ask questions about them. It's just something there to give you the price and the description with the address of those houses, just so you stay up to date on your neighborhood. People love this. They love this. Either your broker has a technology system already for you to use that you're already paying for, or if they don't, just go on your personal MLS. Whatever city you're in, it will have the ability to do a search and save it and do automatic emails to them when something fits that search. Well, you're going to set up the search for the neighborhood they live in of active houses only, so they're not bombarded. This is going to generate a conversation. Now, at the end of every conversation, if this turns into something interactive back and forth, sometimes they'll say, or what you need to say, have you heard of anyone that might be interested in selling their home soon? That's it. Have you heard of anyone interested in selling their home soon? Now, they might have to think about that, and you might get a response back. I did this yesterday for fun, and one of them texted me back and said, you know, my brother-in-law's about to go through a divorce, and they're going to need to sell their house. Oh my gosh. Or what was another one I had recently? I texted somebody, and he said his parents will need to be selling their house because they're going to be moving to a senior care apartment. Oh my gosh, unbelievable. So that is potentially 2 listings that I might get soon. And so then this is how you start generating leads, and this is how you sell during coronavirus. This is a great way to get you doing things to get you leads. Because if you're sitting around not doing much recently, this is a great way to have you contact your database, your Facebook friends, all the different people you have contact information to get, and just ask, would they be curious to find out what houses in their neighborhood are selling for? You can even say, you know, in the market we've had, houses are selling so fast with multiple offers, the value is increasing. In fact, you could even tell them, for me, I could say, last month in June, houses went up 6.5% month over the same month of last year. That's amazing, and that's going to make them intrigued to see what houses are selling for in their neighborhood. That's how you begin selling houses during coronavirus. If you like this video, and I hope you learned something out of this, please click subscribe. Please turn on your notifications. I've been doing this a long time, and so I want to put out some more videos over the next few months, and that way you're notified on the topics that I put out there. If there's something you want me to talk about, please put it in the comments below. That way I can be thinking about how to react and put a video together. Thanks a lot.